Welcome back to Inside Sources. Today we are opening our show with a discussion on important constitutional reforms in our country, especially with the developments whereby the patriots actually met the president sometimes last year, and there seems to be an agreement on how to proceed on getting for our country a new constitution. We all remember and know that the patriots is now led by Chief Emeka Anyanwu. So I'd like to welcome a member of the Patriots, the team that met the president, talking about the new constitution, who is our guest today. He's a professor of political science and is the Jean Monnet Professor of Strategy and Development at the Commonwealth Institute of Advanced and Professional Studies. I'd like to welcome to Inside Sources for the first time, Professor Anthony Kila. Prof, good to see you.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
Thank you. Yeah, so Prof, let's start this way. I know that you are the chair of the National Advocacy and Mobilization Committee of the Patriots after the Patriots, led by Chief Anyanwu, had met the president to discuss the issue of a new constitution for the country. Can you tell us, Prof, what is the mandate that you got, that is the Patriots got from the president, and what is the mandate of the committee of the Patriots that you chair? Prof.
Well, I think it's the other way around. The Patriots did not get a mandate from the president. The Patriots went to see the president, and he graciously accepted to see us, and we explained to him of the need for a new constitution in Nigeria, for the need for a people's constitution. The visit to the president is both a symbolic and substantial visit, because being the number one citizen of the country, by informing him, it is a way of informing the whole country and other parts of government. The desire, as you call it, the mandate for a new constitution, is not a new thing for the Patriots. It's something we've been on for more than a decade now. The idea is that you must create a grand norm that reflects the aspiration of the people. And the only way to do that is to make sure the people actually participate in the formation of the constitution. It will also help if we move away from a lie. The first three words of Nigerian constitution said, "We the people." Since we the people never sat down to do the 99 constitution, I think we might just help ourselves by taking away that vestige of lies in our life.
I agree with you. But before I go to the next question, can you tell us what kind of assurances that you got from the president about this very important assignment, for which I will personally, commend the members of the Patriots? Did he give you any assurance? Did he say that he was supporting it? Are you going to be working with government at some level? What is the level of engagement between the Patriots on this very important assignment and the Tinubu administration?
Well, I think the Patriots, those who know the Patriots will know the group of eminent Nigerians who do not really wait for the president to act. The president did not give assurance. The president recognized the importance of speaking to this kind of people. And, this president, Tinubu, will have no reason to say no to a new constitution, because he has been in the front line with us for decades for this kind of democratic battle. So, he can't say no. The most he can say is, "I'm busy right now." He thought the economic reform that was last year he was dealing with could not let him jump into the fray for the new constitution at the moment, but he recognized the importance, and he didn't come in to say, "I'm going to do this next week." But the point is, one, the Patriots were not waiting for him, and two, even after seeing him, the president has continued. The Patriots have continued to push the agenda, and that is why we have the Mobilization and Advocacy Committee that I chair, that you refer to. And more importantly, the Patriots have now created a new committee chaired by Senators Benga Daniel and Aminu Waziri Tambuwa, who will actually plan for a national political summit. That summit will see the gathering of all Nigerians from various sectors of life, major stakeholders, to decide, one, what We know what kind of constitutions we want, but we'd like to hear the voice of the people and agree on how to go about it. It is a way of bringing back the topic to the fore so that everybody can get an input in it. So to that extent, we're happy to work with all organs of government, but then I can assure you that the patriots are not waiting for that. We are going to persuade and convince people to see the need for a new constitution, which is a people's constitution.
Yeah, Prof, you're entirely right. It's a very noble and laudable effort that the patriots have embarked upon, and it is one that actually should attract the support of all Nigerians of goodwill. Now, I'd like to ask you one more question, and then we move to something else that I'd like to talk about. So, what should we expect? I mean, those of us who are keen on this idea of a new constitution, you did say that there's another committee on the National Political Summit that is going to be headed by Senators Tambuwal and Daniel. So what should we expect next? And then do you guys have some kind of timelines, a roadmap that we should be aware of?
Yes, we have a roadmap. I mean, the next few days, there's going to be a date announced for a summit that is built to hold most likely in Abuja, the capital of the country. And but it will hold anywhere in Nigeria, and various stakeholders will be invited to participate in it. And thank you very much for for commending us and understanding what we need to do. It will be good if through people like you that have bigger voices than us, the rest of Nigeria become aware of it. And very soon we're going to launch a website where people can send in their inputs before the event, and indeed on that day participate during the event. At the moment, we're inviting stakeholders from all parts of the country to participate in that summit, where we all gather together to agree on the documents that we have already in the country. I refer to parts of the 2014 confab, I refer to the old constitution, I refer to a lot of other working documents, and then for people to bring in new things, because don't forget that a lot has happened in this country since 1999. So if there are new things that people want to pick up, and I must say that it is also true that some reforms have been done by Parliament, but I argue, and this is my personal position, I argue that those reforms are not enough to change Nigeria, to set Nigeria on the safe and right course. We need to touch the fundamental document, which is the Constitution. So to your question, what people should expect is the opportunity to contribute and participate in the reshaping of Nigeria through constitutional reforms.
Excellent job. We are very expectant. I'm sure you know that there are many of us out there who are rooting for this people's constitution. You're very right, Prof. The very beginning of our constitution is a lie. There was no place that we, the people, ever gave that constitution. But hey, we take it as fait accompli, and I think this is a great opportunity for all of us to have something that belongs to us. Last question. You are a very notable Nigerian public intellectual. What's your take on your friend, Professor Patu Tomi's idea of a shadow government? Quickly, Prof, before I let you go.
Well, no, I won't escape that very quickly. I think it's not a bad idea, but I not only think it's not a bad idea, I actually support the idea. I think it's a good idea. Those who say the idea is odd because we run a parliamentary system and we don't have shadow government in the constitution, but are not getting it. The fact that it doesn't exist in other presidential systems does not mean we can do it. I think we should consider it an original idea and recognize that the reason why people are talking about a shadow cabinet is because the opposition that ought to be doing opposition is at the moment sleepy and in disarray. And quite frankly, the more ideas we can get in this country, the better. The challenge for the Utomi cabinet is to make sure it's not a talk show, that they actually come up with rigorous, alternative and reliable ideas. I do not think there's anything wrong in it. And I understand the DSS is suing Utomi. Let me appreciate them for at least going to court, not just going to pick him up. But quite frankly, they're chasing shadows. Maybe because it's a shadow cabinet. They're chasing shadows. Our problem, they're saying that they seem to be living cancer and chasing ringworm. What will a shadow cabinet do? Will it raise a law to tax people? Will it deploy the police? What is the government jealous of? I think the idea of people raising so much fuss about this shadow cabinet is silly, and I commend Professor Patutomi for having this kind of idea. And I hope the opposition will wake up so they will make his idea redundant. If they wake up and do their job, we won't need a shadow cabinet. The reason why we need it is because they're not doing their job.
Absolutely, Prof. I can't agree with you more that we have a sleepy, disorganized, and thoroughly, ill-inspired opposition. For which reason, I agree with you that at least Professor Pat Utomi gets it right, that we have to fill that vacuum. Yeah. Thank you so much. Please let me know whenever you are in Abuja. I need to bring you into the studio to have a full discussion on the future of Nigeria.
I promise to sit down with you. I will not be wearing your very nice clothes. I'll be wearing my outfit, but I promise to sit with you.
Thank you so much, Professor Kila, for coming to Inside Sources.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
you so much, and Inside Sources will be right back.